going to be going over RSI. RSI is an indicator and it stands for Relative Strength Index. This indicator is going to basically tell you when something is overbought or oversold. So when you go into TradingView or any other chart application and you type in RSI, this is what it's going to look like, this bottom section, this purple section right here. And it's going to be a 100-point scale. So from 0 to 100, and you'll see that there are some dotted lines on the 70 mark and some dotted lines on the 30 mark, as well as a middle dotted line that is on the 50 mark. So basically, when we're looking at a certain stock index, whatever we're looking at, so like right now, I'm looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, and when you're at the bottom line by 30, this is going to be a point where we are oversold. It's time for the whatever you're trading to go up, and too many people have sold in a shorter in this short amount of time, and it's time to bounce back, or it might form a leg. Like right here, for example, if you see, we had this period where we basically had a pretty drastic drop. This is about 400 points, and when you're looking at this, you can see the RSI drops as well. Then you can see it bounces off the 30 mark and it starts to go up. Now, the top 70 mark is going to be where it's overbought. So when it's overbought, we're going to have to, have a sell-off soon. So right here, you can see it went up with this little leg that it formed, forming another leg right here. But as you can see from previous, and keep in mind, it does not always go out of the 30 and 70 mark. A lot of the times it does stay in between these two marks, but it is occasionally going to dip. So don't always just rely on once it hits the 30 to instantly buy, because there are situations just like this on Black Friday here in 2021 where you can see we went drastically below that line, hitting 12 on the RSI index. So, going into this is a great indicator to evaluate if something is overbought or oversold. And you'll notice when you look at multiple different time frames here, for example, if we go onto basically, we'll do a 15-minute time frame. So when you go back to the hour time frame, you can see where we are on the RSI right now. We're about a 45, what does it say right here? We're at a 45.87. So going into the 15-minute time frame, you'll see that we're at 57. Then going at a 5-minute time frame, you're going to see that we're at a 60. So right now, what do these different time frames tell you? So as you're going to see, the smaller time frames are going to be more volatile, and you might see a setup in, let's just say, the hour time frame that is oversold and we're at the bottom of the line, And if you look at the minute 5 or, a minute 1, you might be pretty close to the top of this RSI, and you might wonder, like, what do I do now? A lot of times we are going to, be in the upper part of the RSI with these shorter time frames. And all I can tell you right now is that if you look at this right now, we're at a 60 already. This is indicating that, we might have some short-term sell-offs potentially, but I would still be bullish, because when you're looking at the hour time frame or like a 4-hour time frame, that's what really matters. Nothing really matters too much in these small time frames like the M1 or M5, because that's not where you're going to make a lot of money unless you're going to do some scalping. But for me, I want to try to look in these hour or 4-hour time frames, and I want to pick out a move that is in between 100 to 200 points at least for something as the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So I like to use the RSI with a higher time frame, like a H1 or H4, rather than using the smaller time frames. But this is going to be a great tool to help you see if something is overbought or oversold, and this can be a confluence. I'm not saying that this is a be-all, end-all, but this can be one confluence in the multiple that you have when you're entering a trade. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next ones.